Well, hello there. My name is Barry, and I thought that I would start to just talk and put my ramblings on the internet. I would like to talk to those of you that suffer from chronic illness, which can include many disorders and diseases and um, depression, fibromyalgia like myself, multiple sclerosis like my wife has, and the list goes on and on. And I'm sure you can agree with me that a lot of times life doesn't seem fair. Well, it isn't fair. I mean, you don't really see people pulling numbers out of a hat and saying, well, you have such and such a disease and you have something else. No, it doesn't work like that, does it? And so how do we deal with these problems, and what can we do to make our daily lives better? I know for myself, having dealt with this issue for, well, going on 12 years now, 13 years, and being in my early 50s, it gets harder every day, doesn't it? And, people, I've seen a lot of people that at times have, said mean things, and they don't understand, and they try to, mock you or make you feel belittled. They don't need help with that. We can do that all on our own. And it really hurts. And perhaps if you're someone that has endured things like that, then you can understand where I'm coming from. Now, of course, I'm not of perfect health by no means. I've had major back surgery. I've got chronic illnesses of fibro, as I mentioned, and nerve damage pain from the surgery, and blood clots, and a few other things that make life kind of miserable. And it's interesting because the things that go on in my life, sometimes it takes so much energy to do something that you've planned, an event, that you've really wanted to go to, and so you do that, and well, you suffer for how many days, right, recovering. So I know all about that. I've seen that. I've lived through it, and I can appreciate that there are those of you out there, like myself, that go through these things. And so I don't really have any solutions. I don't have, a magic wand, unfortunately. I just feel that we need to talk with each other and to get the understanding out of there, because I think, eventually, the more generations that come, things always take time, and things always work slowly. And sometimes attitudes are hard to change, especially when they're ingrained. And, grandparents instill them in their grandchildren. Parents do the same to their children. They instill what they believe, and so the cycle goes on and on. But we can break that cycle, and we can be helped to say, okay, enough is enough. I mean, we don't expect special treatment. We just want understanding. And that's sometimes what people have a hard time believing. They think you want people to feel sorry for you. Well, that's not it at all. It's actually, putting our thinking caps on and saying, okay, well, this person is legitimately sick and has these issues. What can we do to help them? Those types of things. Not saying, well, yeah, okay, I'm chronically ill and I expect everything for nothing. No, I mean, there's a balance there too. But regardless of any of that, I thought that, just speaking for a few minutes every day, and I don't know how often I'm going to be able to do this. I'll try, this just the day's events and something that can be talked about, then I'm going to mention it here on my channel. And so I think that we're going to see, eventually, hopefully, a change. That's what the goal is, isn't it? To see that change. And again, it's not going to happen overnight. And I've realized that over the last, decade or more, that it won't change in the next few years, or even 30 years or 40, whatever it is. It doesn't really, I don't really know, but it's got to start somewhere. And, it's a legitimate thing. It's like any other problem that people talk about. We talk about drug addicts or alcoholics, and the list of that goes on and on. Well, they're recognizable diseases, and it's not always the person doesn't always do those things just because, well, they want to. It's because, yes, they are a crutch, and they're dealing with problems, and they're trying to deal with them the best they can in their own way. So, but those things are common now that we understand that they're illnesses and that people can get help for them. Well, it's the same with chronic illness of any type, that, depression, you name it. I mean, you can be counseled and you can get help. And I think that's the message I want to, especially for today, is that if you are suffering and you feel that you're at the end of the end of your rope, that, you can get help. It's not something that you have to give up on. You can reach out to somebody. There's a lot of professional help now. There are a lot of things that the government provides, and your local doctor, and it's nothing to be ashamed of, is really what the point is. So I'm going to try to come up with some different topics every day. I mean, there's nothing I have that is scripted. I can just speak from personal experience, and I can understand what people are going through. And, I'm as surprised as anyone about how much of an eye-opener it is, because I really had no idea about these things before I started to deal with them myself. So it's been a learning experience, and I'm here to help others. And hopefully we can get a dialogue going, and we can help people that, feel at the end of the rope, or feel like there's no way to turn. And, unfortunately, the way things are going now, or have been with COVID, and, rising prices in gas and food, and, of course, that is causing more stress. I mean, even among myself and my wife, we're feeling the pinch, as I'm sure everybody is, just dealing, with financial matters, basically through government pensions. So it's tough, and but that isn't any reason to give up. And I'm not saying that having suicidal thoughts or anything like that either, is wrong. I've had them myself. I get it. I understand it. And there's some people that go through that, unfortunately, and choose that option, and it's very sad. So again, hopefully I can do a little bit of help, or be a lot of help, a lot of help. Again, I'm completely unscripted here, so I'm just trying to reach out. And being that this is my first video, I'm not really gonna get into anything specific, but I just want to put my name out there, and hopefully, we can do some good together, and we can, realize that life is worth living, even with all our limitations, because, life is pretty tough when you have to drag yourself out of bed, and sometimes it's noon before you can function, and all of these different problems. Again, I've been through a lot of them. So I've rambled on here for a little bit this morning, and I've introduced myself. Again, my name is Barry. My wife is Lucia, or Lucy. I will probably mention her occasionally as well. She suffers from MS, and it's very difficult. And we're coming up upon 10 minutes here, so I'm going to sign off. But keep your chin up, everybody, and we will talk again. Okay, have a good day.